Hi, my name is Tutue and this is my presentation called Love Yourself. A little bit about myself. My full name is Notuek Lumutue and I was born in the country of Burma, also known as Myanmar. Although I was born in Burma, I'm not Burmese. My ethnicity is Korean and I lived in Burma for 7 years before I moved to Malaysia, and I lived there for 2 years. Then I moved to America and now I've lived in America for 9 years. This is my quote: never be ashamed of who you are, embrace it because this is what makes you unique. It is by Soheri Tue. He is my dad. This is what houses would look like 10 years ago when I was there. Most houses were made with bamboos and leaves. This is a cattle. Cattle are mostly used for labor, carrying heavy stuff and getting through town. These are some of my childhood games. These games are what define my childhood. These games are very fun and very unique and challenging. This is Korean traditional clothing. Our traditional clothing are usually made by hand and they take a very long time to make, so they are very expensive. The patterns are what makes it unique and it defines our culture. This is our traditional makeup. It is called Fanaka. All the ethnic groups in Burma uses this Fanaka. We use this to protect our skin from the sun. Our country is very humid and hot, so this was part of our culture. Everything changed when my mom told me that we were going to move to Malaysia. I was very excited and sad at the same time because I was finally going to be able to see my dad. My dad left when I was 9 months old to come and work in Malaysia because we were poor and he needed to provide for his family. And I was sad because I would have to leave my friends and family and everything else behind. Life in Malaysia was totally different from Burma because there were really tall buildings, trains, and cars everywhere, and we didn't have that in Burma. But the food in Malaysia was similar to our culture, so it was very, very good. This is my dad, my mom, my sisters, and this is me. A little bit about my dad. He was away from us for 7 years, so his coping mechanism was drinking. When I was there, I learned that this is what he used to not be really sad, and he would drink all the time. It made me sad and my mom sad, so me and my dad made a promise that if he quit drinking, I would work hard in school. But if he didn't, I would become an alcoholic just like him. So my dad kept his end of the bargain, so did I, so I'm here in college. Moving to America. On our way to America, I don't remember how we were able to go from plane to plane because we had to ride 3 different planes, and our seats, and we never rode plane before and none of us knew English, so it was weird how we were able to go from Malaysia to Dubai to New York to Chicago without getting our seats wrong and plane wrong. Making friends. This is my first house in America. This is my friend Karina, and this is my first time playing with the snow. I had so much fun. We never had snow in my country, so this was a very awesome experience. And one day I was eating okra, but at that time I did not know that it was called okra. I was taught in my school that it was called ladyfinger. So Karina asked me what I was eating, and I was like, I'm eating a ladyfinger. And then she was like, a ladyfinger? I was like, yeah. And then she was like, what do you mean a ladyfinger? And then I showed it to her, and then she was like, oh, okra. And then I was like, okra? I knew it as ladyfinger, so that was very funny to me. And a little bit about school in America. I started school in 4th grade in elementary school, I one time wore a pajama to school. I didn't even know it was pajama. I didn't even know we had pajamas, you know. I wore whatever to sleep, but I wore pajama to school. And this girl made fun of me for it, so never again did I wear pajama. I got bullied a couple of times during middle school and elementary school. In middle school, when I brought like my own food and own like traditional stuff, I probably got made fun of or say that it's disgusting, or then my comments like that's so like ew, like what are you eating, that's just very nasty. So it made me really sad. I started to become insecure about the person that I am and who I am, and I didn't really like it. I tried to suppress my Asian side because a lot of the Asian kids didn't want to be friends with us because a lot of the Asian kids that were born in America did not want to be friends with kids who came from refugees or immigrated here because we were different from them. They were like all the other American kids and we were different, so they didn't want to be friends with us. And I didn't like my accent. I tried to change the way I talk, the way I dress, the people that I hang out with, so that I fit in with the American kids because I didn't want to get bullied by them. And in middle school, I did that a lot. My appearance, my dad would drop me off at school and I would be very ashamed of the car we came in, so I would tell him to drop me off far from the other middle school kids. Middle school kids were really cruel at that time. But in high school, I learned to accept myself more, especially in my junior and senior year. I embraced my difference because I started to realize that because of my difference, this is what makes me unique. And my dad was the reason why I started to appreciate myself, because he told me that I should embrace who I am, I should love myself. That is why I used the quote that he gave me, because that means a lot to me. Because if it weren't for him, I would really be ashamed of who I am today. And I would try to hide my other side, the other side of me, being a Korean. And that was just a life-changing moment for me. And I came to realize that even if some people don't accept you, there are still others that will accept you. And it is fine to be different from other kids. I am so thankful for my dad. My dad is a hardworking person, and the reason why I realized that I should appreciate myself is because my dad did not know English. He speak Korean, Burmese, and Malaysian, but he did not know how to speak English. And he had to work a job where like he doesn't understand anything and he didn't know anyone. So it had to be very challenging for my dad too, and not just only me. I was only thinking about myself but not thinking about my dad and what he had to offer to me. And it was eye-opening for me, and I appreciate my dad so much. And I am proud to be a Korean. Thank you.